Welcome to an abridged version of Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We thank you for joining us. I am Lydia Odije-Ochi. You just watched the Chief of Army Staff inaugurating projects at Infantry Call Center in Jaji, Kaduna State. Now the news. We start Nationwide today with a visit of President Muhammadu Buhari in Lagos State, where he reiterated his administration's commitment to delivering people-oriented projects that will promote infrastructural development and create job opportunities. The president inaugurated several projects, including the Oshodi Integrated Terminal, designed to cater for more than 1 million passengers daily. The project is aligned with the federal government's desire to make life easier for the citizenry.
I am delighted to be here today to commission 3 key projects that reflect the drive and success of our administration as we pursue policies and programs that will positively impact on our citizens.
Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode commended President Buhari for the political will and funding of this project and others. For more details of the president's visit to Lagos, let's join Hingino in our Lagos Network Center. Hingino, it's over to you.
Thank you, Lydia, and welcome to Lagos. President Muhammadu Buhari has unveiled the reconstructed Institute of Maternal and Child Health Facility, popularly known as Ayinke House, located within the premises of Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Ayinke House, which is adjudged Nigeria's biggest maternal hospital, was upgraded from an 80-bed facility to a 170-bed healthcare center with state-of-the-art medical equipment and information technology. Joy Ken Abapwea has details.
President Muhammadu Buhari, after inaugurating the project, was conducted round the facility alongside his host and other dignitaries. Maternal and child mortality is one of the major challenges bedeviling the health sector in Nigeria, and the present administration is determined to end it. The reconstruction of the Maternal and Child Health Hospital, Ayinke House in Lagos, is one of the measures being taken by the Lagos State government. The facility, a 2-story building with a 5-story administrative block, was upgraded from an 80-bed hospital to a 170-bed health facility comprising 5 operation theaters, 16-bed acute care department with 3 organ support capabilities, 30 special care baby units with incubators, laboratories, and a medical gas plant. One of the largest in Africa, Governor Ambode says the new facility will not only improve maternal and child health care, but reduce deaths.
As a state, we are aware that universal and basic primary health care is one of the cardinal priorities of your administration. Following this direction, we have consciously worked to bring quality, affordable and modern health care to all our citizens.
Medical students and resident doctors in obstetrics and gynecology can now take advantage of facilities at the new Ayinke House for training.
This facility can do more specialized care that the old one never had. If you go again, the old one had just about 2 theaters. This one has 5 theaters. The old one never had neonatal and surgery care unit. This one has 30 units of neonatal care. Those are 2 keys: maternal mortality, neonatal mortality.
I have about 21 consultant obstetricians and gynecologists ready to work. As we speak, this edifice has been renamed the Institute of Maternal and Child Health. That means that work that will be going on in here is not just about service, research and training.
The maternal and child health care facility has begun full operations.
It's an edifice that will ease the tension of our pregnant mothers in Lagos State.
All of us are happy because now those pregnant women, there is a place for them to deliver. There is no more looking for somewhere where they will deliver.
For women in Lagos, especially new and expectant mothers, this is worth celebrating because this facility is certainly going to bring them succor. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakoya, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has assured Nigerians that the 500-seater Lagos Theatre, inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari, will further develop tourism, arts and entertainment in Lagos and Africa at large.
Tourism, arts, culture and entertainment are major points of focus for Governor Akinwumi Ambode as his commitment to promoting these sectors stands unwavering. The Eco Theatre is a sterling concept by the Ambode administration to provide a viable platform for youths to harness their creative minds and potentials. 4 new theatres have been completed in Ikeja, Badagry, Alimosho and Ekpe and are set to be inaugurated for public use. Governor Ambode, who accompanied President Muhammadu Buhari for the inauguration of the project alongside governors of Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, Adamawa, Deputy Governor of Edo State, Lagos State Governor-elect and his deputy, explained that his administration has made concerted efforts to fulfill one of his campaign promises to ensure that Lagos becomes the tourism and entertainment hub of Africa.
Because we know that there are no white-collar jobs anymore. They can create jobs for themselves through this place. So I just use this, like we said, we have 4 already, others will be constructed, and also the incoming governor also will continue from where we will stop.
The state's Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Steve Ayorinde, stated that infrastructural development, regeneration of old and creation of iconic attractions for entertainment, arts and culture enthusiasts are some of the methods used by the state to boost economic activities, improve domestic tourism and expand opportunities for job creation.
It's an opportunity for our youths, for rehearsal spaces, for comedy shows, for musicals, for concerts and for live theatre, which is the primary aim, and of course cinema. So this is what Lagos is all about. Let us increase the art spaces that are available so that our people, our talented youth, can have opportunities to practice what they learn.
The theatre is also part of the state government's development plan for the tourism sector, as the facility is expected to attract visitors from within and outside the country. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. It's now back to Lydia in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Many thanks, Hingino. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says the next 4 years of the Buhari administration will witness greater infrastructural development of the country and expansion of the social investment programs to reach more Nigerians. Speaking on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria, the minister noted that Nigerians have asked for a better deal by re-electing President Muhammadu Buhari for a second term. Halika Opanachi has more.
The Information and Culture Minister stressed that the peaceful conduct of the 2019 general elections resonates positively among Nigerians' global friends and allies. Hence, his recent visits to the United Kingdom and the United States of America to gain more support for the administration and attract more investors to Nigeria.
We owe it a duty to our people and to our country to ensure that the outside world, and even the domestic community, it gets the right narrative and the right, picture.
He outlined some of the second-term plans of the administration in moving Nigeria forward, especially in the areas of infrastructural development, power generation, and job creation.
If funds meant to build roads, meant to provide power, meant to provide jobs, are shared among just a few people, then there will be no development. I remember as soon as I came in, we used a statement that between 2006 and 2013, just about 54 people or 55 people allegedly stole 1.4 trillion naira. That's 50% of what we spent on infrastructure in 2017. So we can see the correlation between that development and corruption. And that is why we believe that the next 4 years will only be an improvement on the last 4 years.
On the war against corruption, The minister was emphatic that the present administration deserves credit over its achievements so far and hoped the international community will continue to join Nigeria in prosecuting the fight against terrorism. In Abuja, Alika Opanachi, Arwa, NT News.
The Senate has advised the federal government to urgently ensure deployment of enough security presence along the border communities of Taraba and Benue states. The motion, moved by Deputy Minority Leader Emmanuel Bacha, drew the attention of the Senate to the crisis involving youths of these communities. Ignatius Nkwo has more on the motion.
Well, this motion came under Order 42 of the Senate Standing Orders, and what that implies that any issue that comes under this order is deemed to be very urgent and needed such attention. And actually that was what happened when Deputy Minority Leader Emmanuel Bacha drew the attention of his colleagues to the lingering crisis involving some youths living along the borders of Taraba and Benue State. He called on his colleagues to ensure that there is an adequate legislative intervention to forestall further occurrence. And then, well, that actually attracted enough attention from the senators who lent their support to that motion, and eventually there was a resolution. And here with me is a senator from Taraba State, Yusuf Abubakar, who is here to tell us what are the major importance of that motion.
Well, thank you very much. My understanding is that the motion is trying to find the intervention of the parliament in respect of the crisis in Taraba State. This is not the first time the crisis in Taraba State has been erupting. They are mostly communal in nature, and also, happening, in the southern part of Taraba, central, north. But we have been talking about this for so many times. I think we need to sit down critically, for the state government, who has, the fundamental role in identifying the causes, the remote and the causes of this crisis. So I think, the resolutions of the Senate is up. It has come at the right time, and it is the time that we want the security, to come very, very strong in solving the problem of such issues in Taraba State.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, the Senate has confirmed the appointment of Omolola Edewo as Executive Director, Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation. This is what we have for you from the Red Chamber at the moment.
Many thanks, Ignatius. Now, discussants on NTA's Current Affairs program Tuesday Live have stressed the need for cordial relationship between the executive and the legislature to advance good governance for development. Talatu Ezerike has that.
It is said that the beauty of democracy lies largely in good governance by the three arms of government. The legislature, an arm of the government charged with making laws, is seen to be living up to its responsibilities, especially in the last 4 years. To the credit of the 8 National Assembly, many say include the passage of the National Minimum Wage, the Not Too Young to Run law, the National Identity Management Commission Act, and the Companies Allied Matters Act. In the words of the Senate President Bukola Saraki, the Assembly has been able to introduce landmark legislations that have helped boost the nation's economy.
Those against a nay, the ayes have it.
But how harmonious has the relationship between the legislature and the executive been?
We've come to a situation where the legislature is now almost losing the public applause. But again, I want to say that the legislature should never contest for popularity contest with the executive. It will never win.
Nigerians are becoming more aware. If they thank you, you fail to do what they call feedback mechanism, go back to your constituency, tell your people this is what is happening. Or why are you quarreling with Mr. President? Why are you not talking on our behalf? I swear to God, you not go back to your constituency, and people will not elect you.
What lessons for the 9th National Assembly to advance good governance?
It is important that legislators they focus on their legislative work. If they focus on the work that they are constitutionally assigned to do, I think we would, they will not have too much distraction.
But the perception out there is that the legislators are not making any difference. They're just people who get into power and luxury it at the expense of the people that voted them there in the first instance. The next legislation should begin to work on.
Analysts strongly believe that Nigeria stands to gain more through rights energy that will translate to growth. Talatu Ezebike, NTA News.
Thanks, Talatu. Let's pause for some messages now. Nationwide continues. Welcome back. Cognizant of the revenue losses suffered by Nigeria under the current oil production sharing contracts between the country and international oil companies, the House of Representatives is taking steps to amend the law. The House Wednesday plenary therefore passed for second reading a bill for an act to amend the Deep Offshore and Inland Basin Production Sharing Contract Act. Nigeria is said to have so far lost more than $27 billion due to non-review of the contract, a situation which prompted the lawmakers to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate why concerned government agencies allowed such to happen. The committee is to carry out the investigation within 1 week and report findings to the House for further legislative action. And now to the oil sector. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Emmanuel Ibe Kachiku, has met with top executives of the National Oil Company of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Saudi Aramco, in Dhahran. The meeting is to solidify ongoing discussions on collaborating with the federal government of Nigeria on investments in the oil and gas sector. Energy correspondent Lydia Sampson reports that the meeting comes on the heels of the strategic value meeting held with the Minister of Energy, Industry and Mineral Resources of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Khalid Al-Fali, to cement the budding interest to support Nigeria's infrastructure development in the oil sector. Kachiku, who was received by the President and Chief Executive Officer of Saudi Aramco, Amin Nasser, and the top management of the conglomerate, highlighted the areas of shared investment interests, presenting the existing gaps in the midstream and downstream sector as viable investment options. Chief Executive Officer of Saudi Aramco, Amin Nasser, reiterated the resolve of the conglomerate to widen investment in Nigeria and share best practices. He said the company in the next 5 years intends to focus on investment in Africa, and Nigeria will not be left behind. Kachiku commended the high-level technological advancement of the National Oil Company. Kachiku lauded the various showcase technologies. The exploratory partnership visit ended with a firm acceptance of Saudi Aramco to quicken final conversations with Nigerian firms across the entire oil and gas value chain for mutually beneficial gains. Enugu State government to recruit 1,500 primary school teachers. Let's join Chinenye in Enugu for details of this and more reports from that zone. Hello, Chinenye. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Lydia. Good afternoon and welcome to Enugu. The education sector has received the attention of the Enugu State Executive Council as it approved the recruitment of additional 1,500 primary school teachers to beef up the staff strength in the sector. Susan Eze has details of the briefing of the outcome of State Executive Council meeting at Government House, Enugu.
To ensure availability of quality teachers in the state primary schools and to match the investments government is making in the improvement of school infrastructure, ESCO decided to recruit 1,500 primary school teachers to replace those who have retired. Emphasis is, however, on teachers for schools in rural communities where teachers are in short supply. Another vital decision by the Executive Council was the approval of the sum of 282.4 million to pursue the reaccreditation of courses that have expired in the Institute of Management and Technology, IMT.
State Executive Council saw it as very important to ensure that courses are accredited at IMT, and once these courses are accredited, the certificate we offer will continue to be credible.
On issues of social welfare, the Enugu State Executive Council, in a bid to ensuring the full implementation of the Child Rights Act already passed in the state, approved the institution of 12 special courts to handle matters of child rights abuse. Commissioner for Gender Affairs and Social Development, Princess Peace Nnaji, also announced the approval of 20 million naira for the rehabilitation of teenage mothers stranded in different hospitals due to lack of funds. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
And that's it from Enugu. Lydia, it's back to you in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Many thanks, Chinenye. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has embarked on an assessment tour of areas ravaged by gunmen in some communities of Adamawa State recently, with a view to ascertaining the level of havoc caused and where to come in. Yusuf Jika completes the report.
The communities affected by the activities of armed men are Bari and Bolong of Demsa and Numan local government areas of Adamawa State. The attack left behind a sad story of loss of lives, displaced persons, and destruction of properties and houses that will take time and huge resources to address the gaps. The assessment visit by the Director of Search and Rescue, National Emergency Management Agency, Komodo Akube Iyamu, as directed by the presidency, is to have a first-hand assessment of what it will take to provide succor and restore the hope of the affected people in the Nigerian project. Komodo Akube Iyamu, who was startled with the level of devastation on the affected communities, described the act as barbaric, inhuman, and retrogressive. He assured the people of government willingness and commitment to addressing the issue of insecurity and their current predicament.
Humanitarian intervention does not have language, doesn't have color. It's always immediate. So to get to bring succor to the people.
The director also visited victims of the incident at Numan General Hospital and those taking refuge at Lutheran Church of Christ, Numan, where he sympathized with them. Earlier, the delegation was at the palaces of Hamabata, Homon Alhamdu Teniki, and Hamabachama Homon Irmia Stephen, where the monarchs expressed dismay over the growing insecurity and called for effective security response by all to overhaul the situation. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Sokoto Network Center is next, and Nura is our guide.
Thank you, Lydia, and welcome to Sokoto. Governmental organizations and individuals have been challenged to provide free open-heart surgery services. Acting Chief Medical Director Osmanu Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, Dr. Nasir Muhammad threw the challenge at the flag up of open-heart surgery in Sokoto. Musa Bakar reports.
Zachary Haliwa is among the first batch of patients here who had a successful open-heart surgery, courtesy of Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, Sokoto, in collaboration with Mohammed VI University Teaching Hospital, Marrakech, Morocco.
My heart beats so fast, I won't be able to trek from there. I'm fine now.
The procedure, which cost 5 million naira, was carried out free, but the number of patients is rising, with about 5,000 people in Sokoto, Zamfara, and Kebbi states in dire need of the surgery.
It's estimated that for us to address heart problems among our population, we should be doing a minimum of 500 cardiovascular surgeries per every million population. And this is the first time we are hosting and conducting open heart surgery in this region. So,
heart disease is said to be a growing problem in sub-Saharan Africa. The free open heart surgery is believed to go a long way in boosting life expectancy of people like Halima, who is recuperating. In Sokoto, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Sokoto. Nationwide continues with Lydia in Abuja.
Many thanks, Nura. The Ministry of Mines and Steel Development is stepping up efforts to increase the local production of steel in order to discourage the importation of substandard metal materials into Nigeria. The assurance was given by the Permanent Secretary Abdul Kadir Muazu in a message at a two-day summit on development of Nigeria's metal industry. Mayor Ogidi has that one.
Metal industry, the foundation of industrialization. And with more than 1,000 metallurgical industries, Nigeria is determined to make its voice heard in this direction. But these industries, mostly owned by private individuals, are either non-functional or producing materials below required standards.
One of their greatest problems is that when they produce with such standards, they sell higher than those substandard products that have been dumped into Nigeria by importers that don't mean well for us.
Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, therefore, is rising up to the occasion by gathering some of the best brains in this industry on the way forward.
Liaising further with the Customs Service towards curbing metal dumping of substandard steel and other metal products in Nigeria, as well as export of banned scrap metal.
But with the bill passed, then there will be a guarantee that regulatory mechanisms will be put in place to make sure all metallurgical activities are done well and right.
While waiting for the metallurgical bill to scale through in the National Assembly, the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development promised to provide the needed enablers to operators in the industry to strive, as efforts are on to ensure the Jakarta Steel Company is revamped to meet up the steel needs in the country. Mie Ogidi, NT News.
In her efforts towards complementing government's initiative in improving the health of the nation, wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has secured partnership with the United Arab Emirates-based NGO known as Noor Dubai Foundation for the establishment of a 4-year comprehensive eye program in Katsina State. At the signing of the agreement between the Katsina State government and the Noor Dubai Foundation, Mrs. Buhari reaffirmed her commitment of bringing more similar gestures across the country through the Aisha Muhammadu Buhari Foundation. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
The research conducted by the Katsina State Ministry of Health show that there is an estimated blindness burden of 45,000, visual impairment of 95,000, as well as 10,000 irreversibly blind. Experts in the health sector believed that this is in Katsina State alone. Other states in Nigeria suffered similar challenges. The need for the reduction of this burden is what necessitated the intervention of the wife of the president through the Aisha Muhammadu Buhari Foundation. It could be recalled that in December 2017, Mrs. Buhari has met with the chairman, Noor Dubai Foundation in Dubai, Humaid Al-Kutami, and secure partnership with the foundation to intervene in that regard with a pilot program in Katsina State. The signing of this agreement between Katsina State government and the Noor Dubai Foundation is therefore a fulfillment of the December 2017 partnership. The 4-year program will include revamping of the health infrastructure in the state, set up 12 vision centers and optical workshop, as well as supporting and equipping 250 primary health care centers across the state and the training of personnel. The program will also provide free health care services, including screening program for students in schools, community educational and awareness to over 1.5 million people, and free cataract services to 11,000 individuals.
I still remember the initial discussions we had and the efforts that led to the conceptualization of this initiative. When I visited the Noor Dubai Foundation head office in Dubai in 2017. Today, I'm happy to see how far we have gone. I believe when established, this will benefit not only the people of Katsina State, but the country at large, and also our neighboring country, Niger.
The program will strengthen the health system to be sustainable beyond external support.
This agreement will deliver a sustainable, comprehensive eye care program to the people of Katsina and neighboring states.
The program is expected to be expanded across the 36 states of the Federation, including FCT. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Nigeria should increase funding and revive technical and vocational training at all levels of the country. Hopes to achieve inclusive and quality education to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all in the country by year 2030 as envisaged by the Sustainable Development Goals. This is the opinion at a national conversation aimed at assessing the educational level in the country in order to come up with solutions that will assist government implement the 10 pillars of the ministerial strategic plan to achieve the roadmap entitled Education for Change. Improving education curriculum and policy by getting inputs from employers, especially from the private sector, to suggest skills needed was also stressed, just as training of qualified teachers and involvement of states and local governments.
Quality education, it's not the money. It's maximizing the quality of what you get out of every naira spent. You can spend double this and not get good educational outcomes.
It is our responsibility today to see that even the policies that have been promulgated are implemented.
We're choosing education because it is very much interwoven with the welfare of individuals, welfare of Nigerian poor, which is the place where we have our primary interest.
And that's it on Nationwide. Thank you for watching. Do have a pleasant time watching our programs on the NTA. Bye for now.